We had an experiment. So we had to have a test.
Try different shit. That's what we were talking about.
And I had to do
throw stuff against the wall.
And so platoon is about 40 guys.
Platoon is 40 guys.
About 40 guys.
And again, did you pick the best platoon, a medium platoon?
I took the worst.
You took the worst platoon?
Because I wanted, if I could make any difference at all, I wanted to help these guys.
I'm picturing a band of misfits, one guy peeing on himself. You tell the guy to do push-ups, he doesn't know how to do them.
No, that's stuff they could do, but they just had been through a lot. They lost 16 guys a cycle before from IEDs and helicopter crash.
Wow. Okay, so that's also...
A lot of post-traumatic stress disorder.
A lot of PTSD.
3 guys that tried to commit suicide. Wow. It was just really, and they were just really, morale was down. They were really failing a lot of pre-deployment
So wait,
objectives.
they were just in Iraq and they came back to Hawaii, is that correct?
They were in Afghanistan, they came back.
Afghanistan, thank you.
And came back for... So the Marines, I mean, back then, that was during the surge. Remember the surge?
Yes.
So the whole purpose of that was to get as many boots on the ground as possible. So instead of shooting bad guys, the goal was to protect the good guys to win hearts and minds, which meant a lot more dangerous, a lot more guys over there. And so the Marines were on 7-month cycles. So they come back.
Yeah, they were trying to embed themselves with the tribes and get on the good side of the tribes and bring people together, right?
Yeah, and not, in the old days, you go bust down doors on suspicion. They couldn't do that anymore, right? You had to protect
So now they're in the field a lot more, and IEDs become a much
really
bigger
short
issue.
cycle, 7 months. They had to learn, I think they told me there's over 900 learning objectives in 7 months they have to learn.
And this is before they go to Afghanistan.
Before they go.
7 months.
And so...
Okay, so they bring you in.
These guys.
And they're bringing you in, and this is a platoon that has already been to Afghanistan, come back, and they may be going redeployed.
They'll be going again, yeah.
Shit.
And so the control group was just a randomly chosen normal, platoon, just normal guys. But these guys had been...
Oh, you did? Okay, so you're running an experiment. You did a control group of a neutral group.
Right.
And then you had your guys who were down and out.
Yeah. And so the only way I thought I was going to get time with them, like in a classroom or something, the kind of colonel says, "There's no way. You're going to have to embed with these guys." Oh, which was cool for me, man. It was like being a Boy Scouts on steroids. I got to do everything they did, get into the ranges.
Did they throw they put fatigues on you and everything?
No, not fatigues. I just wore contractor type clothes. But I mean, they were one of the most wonderful guys. Some of them are still close friends of mine.
Wow.
12 years later. I remember one night, I just had it started raining, and I didn't have anything to sleep under. And this one guy, Caleb Wells, who's now an actor.
What's his name?
Caleb Wells.
Wells.
Who wanted to be, he wanted to be commandant of the Marine Corps. When I met him,
he wanted to be what out of the Marine Corps?
Commandant of the Marine Corps.
Commandant? Is that the top?
That's the top. But now he's an actor.
All I know is Commandant Lassard from Police Academy. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, I remember that. But now he's an actor in New York.
Get out!
Yeah, he's been on some shows. He's a phenomenal guy.
Go Caleb. Shout out to Caleb Wells.
Hey, Caleb Wells. Yeah, if you hear this, I'll have to send the link to this. But he goes, John, there's a drainage tunnel over there. If you want to go sleep under there, it'll be dry. And I thought, man, that was really cool, right?
Wow.
So always looking after me.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it was just great bonding experience. But I had to do something. So I had some guys helping me try to develop some exercises that we could use to train executive function. They didn't know it at the time.
Train
what my
executive
goal was
function.
for.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. What you're doing.
So there are a couple psychologists.
And again, just to be clear, you're training the executive function for the purpose of these Marines to have less casualties.
Yes.
You want them to be able to use their decision-making skills in the moment.
Yes.
While they're in Afghanistan, going down an alley. And the process of their brain happens so quickly that their executive function is able to process the right information and make a decision to prevent them from losing their life due to a booby trap or an IED.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got it.
And, if your listeners have ever read Malcolm Gladwell's book, Blink, he calls that thin slicing.
He calls that thin slicing. Wait, define thin slicing.
Thin slicing is what we're talking about, where you make a decision unconsciously. The example Gladwell gives in his book, one of them is a statue that all these experts say is genuine, and another expert walks in and immediately he knows it's fake.
Damn.
There's something he picks up about it, right? Break it down, think it through next year. We talked about that earlier, where he takes that information and executes on it.
Right.
So the Marines, we developed these different exercises, and so we started with a lot of them. We actually tapered it down to just a couple of them that would target that executive function piece. And so 3 months later, they were the best platoon in the battalion.
90 days?
90 days. The battalion commander said it was the best platoon he'd ever seen. They moved differently and better than any I've ever seen.
They move differently and better than ever. So just forget about IEDs for a second. You're saying their whole the whole way they operated just got better.
Exactly, because what we found is when you improve executive function, marksmanship, decision making.
Marksmanship is obviously when you're sniping and shooting.
Yeah, I mean, Marines have to pass a marksmanship test every year.
Right.
So marksmanship improved, decision making improved, physical ability improves. What happens is when your brain is more focused and you're reacting faster, you can lift more weight. You have more stamina. You're more focused. So the best. And then when they went through their final pre-deployment training back at 29 Palms in California, the instructor there said it was the best performance she'd ever seen.
Get the F out of here.
And at the IED specific course, this was pretty. So I'm tailing the guys the whole time. A couple funny things happened, but one that was kind of cool was there was a very specific test of IED awareness. Right? Can you find an IED? Well, these guys found it, followed the det cord, and were arresting the trigger man.
Followed the what cord?
The det cord, the cord from that was going to blow up the IED, detonation cord.
Detonation cord. Got it.
And the instructor said, guys, nobody ever gets that far. Go back to patrolling. So they totally aced that one. Their whole demeanor was much better, more relaxed. I remember one event. So the Marines do a phenomenal job of training Marines, right? So they have these simulated villages, and they.
By the way, I'm sorry, I'm so ignorant. How are the Marines different than the Army? Do you know?
They're all good. Yeah. One of the things about the Marines, one, it's much smaller. And much smaller.
Okay, so they're more specialized?
They're more specialized, but everybody, the training is longer. They're just more of a camaraderie just because you're smaller. Now, my brother's Army. I love my brother, and he's been he was a drill instructor. I told you this. There's something about the Marines that's different. You look around, when you walk around through the city, and you look at the stickers on the back of trucks, okay, you're going to see 10 times as many Marine stickers as you will any other armed forces.
They're that tight.
Even though they're the smallest.
Wow. That's right. I've seen Marines much more than Army. You're right.
That's why. I mean, Army's great. I mean, I love the Army. I'm actually doing some work with the ROTC, Army ROTC at Loyola.
Okay.
It's just something different.
Yeah, about the Marines. Okay. So, John, what did you do in 90 days to get these guys to kick some serious ass?
Well, we do these different exercises that would help, that force them to make decisions faster. So, and that was only the first, so that was actually nothing to what we came up with after that. So that was a real world performance, and it was cool because the one of the battalion commanders, because we also did the cognitive skills test before and after, and these guys scored significantly higher than the control platoon.
You plastically formed their brain to be more powerful.